Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
We got a pretty cool email from a guy by the name of Joe. Not Joe the plumber, but just Joe.
I thought everybody was Joe the plumber. Every commercial I see shows some stupid douche going, "I'm Joe the plumber."
Yeah.
Shut up. I can't wait till Tuesday when this dumb election is over and we can find out who's going to put the final death nail in the country.
No kidding.
Tell me you don't think that that's exactly what's going to happen, too. Yeah, we can go political for a minute. Is that what you think is going to happen, too?
Well, this is the way that I see it. This is the way that I see it.
All right, strap in, folks. You're going to get some political commentary from Neely.
All right. If Obama wins...
Yes.
Which he's being supported by 98.9% of the African-American voting public.
Well, what's that equal to? The voting public of African-Americans? What's that, about 6 people?
Well, I haven't taken a poll lately, but whatever the number is,
yeah.
If Obama wins, it's going to be all out... without trying to be too racist about it, it's just going to be all-out mayhem.
You think? Why?
Because it's going to be like, you know, we got one of our own in the White House.
See, I look at it I look at it as the exact opposite, though. I look at it as, you know, as stupid white uneducated douchebags saying, "Well, now you're not owed anything because one of yours got in."
Well. That's from the white side,
right?
But it's going to be, in my opinion, and not to be a racist about this, but in my opinion,
right?
This is going to be one of those deals that our day has come. We're owed this, you know, in your face, motherfucker. One of those type of things.
Could be, but that dude better. But how long is that going to last before everybody realizes that it doesn't matter what color the face is in the White House, the country's still fucked.
Well, I agree, but from just a social standpoint, I see that as being a problem. It's going to be a what's the word I'm looking for?
A race war.
No. A attitude of entitlement.
I so don't agree. But
okay, well that's my opinion.
I think day of there'll be an OJ like thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we got him type of a thing. But I am telling you, it's not going to take the TV, the radio, and anybody else that has a voice 10 seconds into Obama's administration to say, "Look how this fucking guy is still keeping us fucked." And they won't ever use the N-word, but that being said, that's exactly what they'll be saying.
Of course.
They'll be saying, "This is why we never let one of you in the White House."
Right.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Well, I mean, but I don't... The point that I'm trying to make is I don't see once Obama's in there, I don't see people saying that it's like a we got one type of a thing, because the guy acts more white than I do.
Well, it's not a matter of how he acts, it's a matter of representation.
Does he really represent the black community?
Well, they think he does.
No, they don't. I honestly don't think that they do. I honestly don't think that Black America thinks that Barack Obama represents them. I think it's just the novelty of this is the first time that there's ever been a black candidate this close, and they're going to do everything they can to support this candidate. They don't give a shit who it was. It could be fucking OJ running, and if he had gotten to this point, they'd vote for him.
Sure.
And he'd get extra points for killing the white wife.
Right. So the second way that I look at it, if McCain gets in,
okay,
it's going to be all out a racist thing, because See, you, white America, who is still the majority in this country, you can't put your racial thoughts aside to elect someone who's a man of color. So it's going to be even worse than it is now.
You don't think that any of his wartime stuff is gonna keep some of that away?
No.
I mean, the guy's a legitimate war hero. I mean, it's not like he's a war hero to the same level as like an Eisenhower.
Well,
man.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying from the standpoint that if this guy doesn't get elected and doesn't beat Whitey, it's going to be because it's a racist thing.
Well, the thing that's going to be interesting to me is if Obama does not win, how long will it be that we're sitting through yet another 3 months of election bullshit while they recount every vote in every state and say that, there was 6 ballots that were bent the wrong way, you know?
Yeah. There's going to be a question there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I hope people aren't going to stay up late on Tuesday to see who won, because you ain't going to find out who won.
Right. And
I totally don't think so.
And another thing is that even though the polls have been showing Obama ahead,
right,
the polls do not take into consideration people's racial bent.
No, they definitely don't.
Because when you go into that polling booth and close that curtain and you decide, hey, I'm going to vote for, you could be telling all your friends, I'm voting for Obama, I'm voting for Brahma. But then you get into the voting booth and you go, do I really want to elect this guy?
Right.
And you'll come out of there pulling the lever from a cane, but yet you'll still tell your friends you voted for Obama.
Well, I think there's probably going to be a lot of that. That's the one they're calling that. I don't know why they're calling it the Bradley effect, but they're calling that the Bradley effect.
Okay.
And I kind of see that. I look at the, you know me, dude. I watch a lot of news.
Sure.
I study all of news. I record all of it.
You're pro news? I'm
pro news. That's right. But I do watch a lot of it, and I have been watching. I hate to say it because it's not my favorite network, but it's the only one I can stand during this election thing. I've been watching a lot of MSNBC lately.
Oof! Wow.
I know
the Obama News Network, huh?
Know your enemy, that type of a thing. But I have been watching a lot of it, and I watch those maps that they put up where they're showing all these states in the South as just a solid Obama country.
Mm-hmm. I
ain't buying it, man. I mean, I know people that live in Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama and stuff, and I don't see it. They haven't forgotten that they were willing to bomb schools to keep blacks out of it. They have not forgotten that, and the majority of the people that vote are older.
Sure.
So I don't care what people are telling the pollsters. The polls don't mean shit unless they're not really going to count the votes anyway. Well, that's a whole other issue.
Well, I completely agree with you in that respect. And like I said, the polls do not take in people's, racial, I don't know what you want to call prejudice, if you will.
Right.
It doesn't take that into consideration.
It doesn't. I mean, bigger picture, I think no matter what happens, we're just in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I agree. No matter which way this election rolls.
I don't care if Nader wins it. We're in a ton of trouble, man. I listen to there's this guy, and anybody that wants to look this guy up, all you Coast to Coasters will know this guy, but there's this guy named Mish Shedlock. He comes on Coast to Coast at least once, if not twice a week, talking about the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And he really breaks down, where the money from the bailouts are going and how it's being distributed and what they're using it for and this and that and why it's not going to work and stuff. And I'm telling you, from listening to this guy for the last 2 months, we are teetotally fucked, dude. This whole economy, I don't care who's the president, it is going to be in shambles by February. And February is when you're going to see anybody, I'll make this statement right now. Anybody that's working a job that's making, I don't know, $15 to $20 an hour, y'all better be actively planning on moving or looking for something else now or learning a skill between now and about January, February, because you all are going to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's the nature of the way the economy is falling apart right now. Is that the big business, dude? I saw a thing. One of the things this guy Shedlock was talking about was that I forget which one it is, but it's one of these banks that got like $80 billion or something.
Mm-hmm.
And even though part of the stipulations are that they're supposed to use that money to lend, to lend so that they can get the economy stimulated in their neck of the woods with, purchases of homes and purchases of businesses and, mall structures and whatnot. The banks, as soon as they got the money, they announced that they weren't going to put the money out there, make it available for that, and instead they're going to invest it in themselves.
Sure they are.
But what does that do? It takes $80 billion out of circulation.
Well,
we're fucked, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm not going to get into exactly what you do for a business, but in the business that you're in, I'm quite sure a lot of the associates that you deal with are scared for their lives right now.
Yeah, some of them who are involved with the hedge funds.
Yeah,
they did not lose their ass in the market a few weeks ago.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, but they weren't heavily invested in the market. They were actually invested in tangible
properties, right.
Tangible goods, properties and real estate, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So,
but even real estate is going to be bad in 6 months because you're not going to have anybody that can get money to get any of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's oof. What do you got all your stuff in? Silver? Gold?
Yeah, no kidding.
Because that's about the only thing that's actually gold and oil. That's about the only tangible assets out there right now.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'd imagine your brother-in-law these days is probably fucking like, man, I'm moving to Sweden with Chris.
Sure.
I'm packing up and leaving.
Yeah, we're out of here, pal.
I say that's what we do. Me, you, your brother-in-law, and your sister, we just pack it up, we move over to Sweden, and we just pay the flat 40% tax, and that's it.
Yeah, I would prefer it to be that way, to be honest with you.
Dude, now I could be wrong, and I'm sure any of our Swedish listeners will tell me, but the way I understand it is 40% flat tax off of your money, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't pay all this state, local, RETA, city, federal, tax on your goods, tax on your gas. You pay 40% out of your check, and that's it.
Right.
That would be nice. That would save me like 30% of my money.
Sure.
Damn, I'd be living large.
I agree.
Now, what this has to do with our emails,
I am a fan of all news shows, by the way. You guys, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, I watch all of them, and I tape all of them, and I know every single thing that's happening in the news from every single perspective all the time. So I am 100% for the news, pro-news, and against predators.
So there.
Well, I'm glad to see a fellow listener that is pro-news like me.
Right.
What a dick.
Nice. All right, so that's our little election take. We'll see what happens out on Tuesday and see how this all shakes out.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be good.
It's
going to be great TV. I'm sure that'll be about it.
It'll be interesting, to say the least.
Hey, I'm Hugh Downs here with a very special report. Obama's up by 2 points, and we're out at the polling booth right now. And, sir, could you tell me what you thought of that election? I pulled the lever. You heard it here first. He pulled the lever.
Nice.
Election coverage sucks.
I agree. Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.